Welcome to the 56th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome to returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're glad you could be here. Today's crafting adventures, is all about kits. But before we begin, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So let's first of all talk about what May is wearing. She is the lady who loves cowls. And what I've been doing, you probably have noticed in the last few episodes, is I tend to overbuy when I'm buying yarn for a sweater, for instance. I always want an extra skein just in case, but then what do you do with the extra skein? So because you love cowls, that's always a good thing. And so this cowl is knit in Valley Yarns. It's a cotton acrylic, and it's called Conway. And the cowl that May is wearing is the Along the Edge cowl, and that's by Kelene Kinnersly Designs.
Nice.
It looks great on you.
It's a little warm today.
I think what happens is when we're going to prepare for the podcast, we're running all over the house trying to get everything sorted out. So yes. I think I was sitting here while I was waiting for you to come down thinking.
And then you're wearing a cowl and it's warm and it's warm outside, and but it's good. It'll be nice in the winter. But it's at least it'll be warm in the winter.
Exactly. It looks really nice on you.
Thank you. Nice color.
Yes, it's brilliant. So that's what May is wearing. And as far as what I'm wearing, it has to do with these earrings. So I'll get May to take a picture up close. But the yarn that I used, once again using up yarn from another project, is String Theory Hand-Dyed Yarn Caper Sock. And this pattern comes from a video on YouTube. So I will link that. I'll put it in the show notes below. The person that I watched uses cotton, and this is a merino cashmere nylon, which it doesn't have to be, it's just that's what I had left over. And I thought I just want a little pair of earrings. I was going to jokingly have May wear them, but May refused. She said, I am not going to wear those earrings.
I am not wearing knitted earrings.
That's right.
Draw the line.
That's right. So I'm wearing them, and what's really nice is they're nice and light. Like I can hardly feel that I have them on.
Never would have thought prior to this podcast doing your research that you could knit earrings and actually be wearable. And they're actually quite nice on you. Like they look good.
Yeah, I really like them. They're very nice and light.
So do you have you said to do the YouTube thing, and there's a pattern there that they show you how to do that? Is there just more than one pattern, or can you?
I went on to Ravelry and I tried to find, and there are a number of them. But when I saw this one on YouTube, I thought that's the one I want to do.
Wow.
Okay, and they did a step-by-step in how to put it together, so I was happy with that.
Every day's a school day. Learn how to knit earrings. Who knew?
Absolutely. So that's what I'm wearing, and we have an announcement to make. So we had our 700 subscriber giveaway, and one of the people that we had that had randomly number generated their name got in contact with us. The bag went to them. The second person hasn't, and it's been a month. So we decided that we're just going to
use the same names from before.
Yeah, the names, and we'll just put it into a random number generator.
Right. So if you're one of those people, you could be winning the project bag.
So the fabric is this. That's what I'm going to use.
Colleen still hasn't done it yet, but you have to decide whether you want it zippered or pull bag.
Drawstring, absolutely. Yeah. That's right. And so the winner wanted a drawstring bag, and the winner is Marilyn Barnett.
Congratulations, Marilyn.
Yay, Marilyn. So if you will contact us on Ravelry, it's MC Knit Adventures, and then send us your address, and then we can put that in the mail for you.
I'm happy for Marilyn.
Yes,
that's great.
Me too. So that is our startup, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a cowl, and it's a cowl with beads. So as you know, pandemic, what are you going to do? Do something new. So I've started doing a little bit of knitting that involves beads. I have been buying kits, which is something of what we're going to talk about in our crafting. But this one, I actually had purchased some beads and I dove into stash. So everybody, I think, is doing the same thing, trying to use up their stash. And what I found was some yarn that we bought in Edinburgh. Okay.
Well, that's a long
so
time
the yarn is called easyknitsco.uk, knit with color, and this is called Sassy Precious, and it is 70% merino and 30% silk. Feels lovely. And the pattern is the Caramelized Cowl by Nelkin. what I really like about Laura, and you know how I like Kate Atherley, I also like Laura because she's very good at explaining the patterns, but there's always something new that you're learning. So I can't talk to you about it because it's a pay-for pattern, but it is amazing what's in here.
So all those little gems in here that you did that. Was that, are they hard, is it hard to do, put those, or is it just a technique?
It's just a technique. It's not too bad. I won't say too much, but the way that you start and the way that you finish, they're different. And I really, really like it. And the beads are there, but it's not like they're like this is purple and the beads are orange or something.
Right.
You know, they blend in.
Yes.
Exactly.
It gives a little bit of bling.
Exactly.
And you're such a blingy lady with your knitted earrings and all.
That's me. But what I like about it, and I was watching something that Laura, I think it was a craftsy thing that Laura had done, and she said she likes the beads to blend but not be too much of a contrast.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you can see them, but they're not in your face.
Exactly. Exactly.
Very nice. This is your first time you've really done something like this?
Absolutely.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you.
It's so cool that you like to make new things and learn new stuff, because look at that. Who would have thought?
Know. So it's going to be a double wrap, but and I think it'll be nice because it's purple and I like purple. All right, my second finished object is called the Little House Hat, and that's by KF Jones. Now, I did not put a pom-pom on this one. Now, the yarn itself...
Is there a reason for that?
Yes, I will explain. It's Knit Picks City Tweed DK, and it's in the kitten colorway. And then the black itself is Northfield by Valley Yarns.
Well, very nice.
Now, this pattern was designed as part of the Bakery Bears, they call it their knitting university. So I'm a Patreon. It's well worth the money that I pay. And so they did magic loop socks, they did DPN socks, and then they did this just so that you had practice with color work. And you're always wanting to improve and do color work. Now, I haven't blocked this, and I think it will be different when it's blocked, but I really like it. And May and I have kind of decided who is going to get this as a present, and I think they're not a pom-pom person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what the reason was.
Exactly.
But it looks just as nice without the
Good.
pom-pom as it would with the pom-pom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, there's an interesting thing in this pattern. Normally, when you get to the top, you cinch the stitches together. And what KF Jones has done is she actually has you kitchener stitch those last few stitches.
Oh.
And it makes a really nice, if you can hold it that way,
like that.
it makes a really nice top part.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's...
Now, can you
nice.
make this a slouchy hat too? Could you make it longer? and
Yes, you could
slouchy?
make it a little bit
okay.
longer. But once again, the person who it's for
Wouldn't
isn't
be a slouchy person.
I don't know what a
They'll
slouchy
appreciate
person
that.
is.
Appreciate that, Colleen.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the second one. And the last one, I think we're doing a lot of Christmas knitting. I'm saying we.
We. That's the royal we.
We're doing a lot of Christmas knitting. And this is Fetish by Laura Nelkin. And what I did was I ordered a kit, and then I saw the kit and I thought, this isn't going to do for the person who it's for, what I need it to do. So what I did was I used some of my own yarn, if you want to hold that up for me. So we had bought these rings at Michael, so the silver ring, so we bought that. And and the beads I used were bought at Michael's as well. And the yarn, I had made a shawl, and then I had ripped it all out.
Right.
And there was a little bit of certain color, and used it for something else with a little bit of colors left. So what I did was I used that little bit and I knit this. So what it will do, and I'm just going to show you this picture here, is this is going to be a necklace. It can be
really
a bracelet,
nice.
but the person that it's for is more of a necklace person. And what I like about it, that circle is where people can hook in their glasses.
So cool. That's
Exactly.
very nice.
So the neat thing is, somebody who's out there who knows they get a Christmas present from us, who's wearing glasses, might think, oh, that's for me. So we've got rid of half the population anyway.
You're taking this knitting thing to a whole new level.
I know, it's really pretty.
Really?
I really like it.
Like, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Oh,
That's
thank you
awesome.
so much.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah.
So those are my finished objects. And May, any finished objects for you?
You know, I don't, but it's not to say that I haven't been busy. I've been out as you know, I have this little booth at the antique store for vintage items, and so I have to resource my vintage items.
Right, right.
So I've been doing a lot of purchasing, like a lot of purchasing. But
Right.
It's, and maybe you'd be interested in seeing some of my vintage items that
would be
I
great.
pick up, because some of them are pretty cute and unique.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping to make money on them.
Exactly.
But so that's what I've been busy doing. And I seem to have accumulating a lot of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's been fun. So
Good.
that's my...
You're doing a great job. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been busy. It's been busy. So I'm still in the process of getting that Etsy store up so that
Yeah.
you and I can maybe do that. So,
Yeah.
but that's one of the things that we're working on. So
Exactly. So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is another hat. Using the same yarn, so that's Knit Picks City Tweed DK and Northfield by Valley Yarns. That's the black and that is the tweed. Now, this is the Tartan Toque by Tracie Millar of the Grocery Girls. Love the pattern. Now I changed this up a bit because I was using a lighter color because I have more of the lighter color. Now
it's similar to the hat we just held up,
right,
but it looks like a different kind of pattern.
It is a different pattern. So anyway, and I changed it up. There's a place where there is a line of purling and it just wasn't going to work for what I wanted it to do.
So is this going to have a pom-pom on this one?
That is the bait. So I am asking for comments, what you think, whether it should have a pom-pom on or not. The person that's for is a pom-pom person some of the time. So it's a little confusing.
You can have one that clips on and off.
I could.
And then it's...
That's right. And I know that there are some that have ribbons that you can actually tie them on and then take them off when you want to wash the hat.
Because I have seen those ones.
Now, the nice thing about the City Tweed DK is it has alpaca in it.
And that was what makes it soft.
That's what makes it
and
soft
warm. I think it'll be warm.
Yeah, it's got 25% superfine alpaca. So it is going to be a warm hat for the winter, which we don't really want.
Gifts would be nice.
Yes, that is the plan. So that is the first one. Now the second one is a Love Notes sweater. And that's by Tin Can Knits. So that's what it looks like. Now, I didn't do the lace. And the reason why I didn't is I don't usually wear like a camisole underneath stuff. So I just wanted to make it plain. And Jody of the Grocery Girls had made one without the lace and I liked it. So it's very interesting to me how things transpire.
Looks like there's a lot going on here.
There is. So
all kinds of yarn and all kinds of needles.
So right now I have 4 skeins of yarn attached.
Are you confused with all of this?
No, it's not too bad.
For a non-knitter, it looks very confusing.
So what I needed to have was I needed to have some fingering weight yarn and something. Now this is my version of mohair. It's not. So this is the Cumulus by Fiber Spates. And it has Surrey alpaca and silk.
Now, am I holding this up the proper way? The armholes are here. Is this upside down?
Totally upside down. But that's you can hold it the other way.
Okay.
Yep. So most of you will have seen a lot of the Love Notes. I'm kind of late to the party as far as this one goes. But I ended up with 2 skeins of this yarn. I had purchased one because I liked it so much. And then I did an advent calendar by Hugh Loco. And it's called Whale Song. And it came with the big skein. So I had 2 of the same things. So I should have enough. I'm saying should have enough, and I'm hoping I have enough. So this may end up being short sleeves. I'm going to make it as long as I need it to be. Then I'm going to do the top part around the yoke because I have a little bit of more work to do there. And then I'll just make the sleeves as long as I can make them.
Beautiful colors.
It is.
Really
and
nice.
It's really soft. And what's nice about this, I think this is called Ice. It mutes the colors. So it takes these colors and it mutes them a little. It softens them a little bit. And I really, really like that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Okay, so that is...
That looks like candy floss. I can eat that.
No, don't do
Everything's all about food with me. Looks like candy or chocolate.
There you go. Exactly. All right, so that's that. Now, my next work in progress is the Snow Day Shawl. And that's by Nina Phillips, who's the knitting expat. And I already had made one of these in kind of tealy blues.
Is it paid for pattern?
It is a paid for pattern. And we were on one of our adventures, probably 2 or 3 years ago. I don't even
Right.
think the store's open anymore. And we picked out purple because you and I both love that shawl so much. So
It's one of my favorites,
it's
actually.
funny to be making the decision to make this again when it's like 33 degrees Celsius outside. I'm sick. So I've got lots of little bits of yarn. So here is the joy of me in purple.
I love the colors you picked, Colleen.
Yes.
Purple, I'm shocked.
So we have some lovely, nice crisp white. This I think is called lilacs, and this I can't remember what the dark purple is. I know the dark purple is really hard to get, so I'm probably better if I don't say what it is.
That's nice.
And what I
nice.
really like is the texture that this comes with. And so what I think I'm going to end up with is some of this yarn left, and I'm going to make myself just a small cowl and use that texture
Yeah,
stitch.
it's very nice.
I'm going to try and design something.
Now, we had a friend that made this too because they saw the green one on you and they thought, Linda.
Yes.
And she thought, you know, I'm going to make that. She made it in kind of a lime green
Right.
and
Yep.
yellow. And it was really nice also. So
Exactly. It's a great pattern, and once again,
Yeah.
it's a lot of garter stitch, so it's lovely, and then there's this lovely textured stitch, and it really is nice and
It
cushy.
is, yeah. It'll be nice when it's
and
all
warm.
finished. Yeah.
Exactly. So I really, really like that one. And then my final one, once
Drop
yarn
the candy
down.
floss.
It's down. It's okay. Oh, and I apologize. That was vintage DK, Berroco vintage DK. for
If I
that
can
snow
find
day
the
shawl.
green photo of that, the green one of that,
Right.
I'll put it up just to show you what it was
Oh,
like
that
in
would be
green.
great.
Because I remember going to the park and taking those photos. Whether I can find
Right.
them in my stuff, I don't know. But I will put it up if I have it. And,
Okay.
and if I don't, I apologize.
There you go. Now, my final work in progress uses sheep gist. I never know how to say it. Some people say sheep bees, some people say sheep gist. Whirl. And this is 1,000 meters. It's 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. And I had one that was blues, and I made one cowl, and then I made another cowl, and then I made a shawl. So I knew that if I was going to make something, it was going to be way too much. So what I did was I wound off 50 grams. So I just took,
Is this all from your stash?
This is all from my stash.
You like stash.
So I wound off 50 grams. So this I can make something with. It's cotton. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just knew it was going to be way too big. Now, this pattern is one of those things that I just did another YouTube search. It is, you either look up moss stitch crochet triangle shawl, or some people call it linen stitch. It looks like linen stitch in knitting, but it is the same stitch over and over again. So once you get going on this, now I have to be careful, and I'm just going to explain to May. When you're crocheting, you don't just drop a stitch. Like you could rip out the whole thing. So
Oh dear,
Yeah.
now I'm nervous.
no, it's okay. What I'm doing is I'm making this loop really big so we don't take a chance. There we go. All right, so now we're going to hold this up.
Wow, this is crocheted.
This is crocheted. So it's this big. I still have this much left, and I wanted to have the really dark color at the bottom, and the texture in this is absolutely amazing. So the cotton and acrylic's nice and soft. It's going to block beautifully, but the stitch pattern itself is really, really lovely, and I really, really
It's
am
nice.
liking how it's coming. So this is something that, now crochet for me is a little different. I can't crochet and not watch TV. So sometimes what I'm doing is I'm crocheting and listening to TV while we're watching.
Right. You misses all the good parts, and
I
I
do.
have to explain everything.
May said, "Did you see that?"
Did you see the facial expression? Because sometimes that's important.
Exactly, and I didn't. Then we, of course, we pause it, and then she explains it to me, and then we feel good.
And Colleen, you have to pause because you can't talk to her when she's watching one of the TV programs. She's one
No.
of those people that
I'm one of
she
those.
doesn't want to miss a sentence,
No.
a word.
No.
Whereas I can go and I can do something else.
Yeah, every time she leaves the room, I say, "Do you want me to pause it?"
No. No, just keep going. I'll pick up. So that's just the difference between us and it kind of, you're a much more detailed
Yes,
person in
absolutely.
general than
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it comes out in the TV shows.
Exactly. There
It's
you
kind of
go.
cool.
So those are my works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our craft adventure.
Welcome to the Kits adventure piece. And Colleen, what do you have as far as kits go?
All right, so as we mentioned earlier, It's all about knitting and beads for me, but mostly it's about making some presents for people and those kind of things. So Laura Nelkin, who does a lot of work with knitting and beads, has an Etsy store, and she does a great job. You order it, it comes really quickly. She takes really good care of you. And I'm just going to show you a couple of the kits that I have purchased. So the first one is called the Kairos Knit Cuff, and it's a really neat one, and she puts them in these lovely little tins, which is fantastic. And in here comes the yarn that you need, comes the beads that you need, and this one comes with a leather clasp that's going to hold things together. And I have made one of these already, and they look really nice when they're all done. There's also a little tool that helps you string the beads on your yarn, and then it tucks away nice and neat, and there you go. So it is great. You get a coupon code for the pattern, and if you've got your Ravelry thing open, it sends it right into your library, so that it will go right into your library.
Sounds very efficient.
It is. It's very efficient, and once you have the pattern, then you can start thinking about it. So these actually don't take very long to do.
Are they reasonably priced too?
Yes, they are reasonably priced. For the whole kit, for the pattern, it's very reasonably priced. Now, I have lots of little bits of leftover yarn, and I've purchased a few beads. So what I'm going to try and do with this one is take the pattern that's there, change it a little bit, and then see if I can figure out a different clasp. And hopefully that will work out. I am not so used to doing colors with beads yet. And because we're buying things online these days, it's really hard to tell. So hopefully, as COVID wanes a little bit, if it does, we can go out to a store that has more beads to do.
Right.
And once again, I'm comparing things online and doing the best that I can, which is what I'm doing. But
Perfect.
it's a really nice thing. Now, to be honest with you, I started one last night. I finished it last night. I still have to block it and put the leather clasp on, but it took me an evening to do. So if you are thinking like you'd want to do some Christmas presents, you could start now. It's always good to learn something new. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm learning something new, learning a new technique, and getting things organized. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So that's the first one.
And I want to let people know too, we don't ever get paid for any.
No.
For saying anything. We're just doing this because it's been our experience, not for any other reason.
Exactly.
You know, so we're not trying to promote this for. I mean, it's nice that we do that for that person, but we don't promote anything or get anything for
no.
this
But we
company.
also want to let you know when the service is really good.
Yes.
We let you know.
Yeah.
And this one has been great. So my next one is, once again, it's a bracelet. It's got a few more strands to it. It's called Pass the Peyote. And it does things a little differently in how you put things in. So you actually do all the bead work ahead of time, and you make these little tubes with beads.
Is this from the same company? The same
person? So the pattern is equally as nice. And so now I'm playing with beads, trying to figure out how to string them together. I must admit, it took me 3 times till I got it. But now that I've made 2 of the tubes. You need 4 tubes to do this. And then part of the thing I have to do is I've used some old beads that I had just to play with it before I do the real kit. I'm going to need to find a certain clasp. Okay, but it's really nice to see. I'm learning about the kind of colors that they coordinate, and it's helping me out a lot. Nice. So these are great kits. Like, I really, really am enjoying them.
Good. You are having fun. Are you surprised that you're having this much fun with those?
Yes, I am, because I knew of Laura Nelkin, but I hadn't done any of her things, so I'm really, really happy with them.
Cool.
Okay.
So since you were getting into kits, I thought, I do have a lot of equipment. Like, I do have the sandpaper, and I have the saws, and I have little pieces, I can cut little pieces of wood, and I do have a lot of equipment. But if you were to start out and buy all this equipment, it could be pretty expensive to make a small little thing.
Right.
So this is why I think that the kit idea is a good thing.
Exactly.
And so I thought I'd go around the house and I'd find out kits that I've had that I haven't gotten into yet. But it's a good way for you to get out there and do some crafts without going to all the expenses.
Right, I agree.
I think it's a perfect thing.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you an idea of some of the kits that we have that I have around the house. This is an old kit. Now this was, these are just some ideas that you can get probably online. but this is from an auction. I got this kit. It's called American Country Collection.
Right.
And this is a kit for doll houses, shelving.
Oh
So
my goodness.
you could probably in this box, I haven't opened the box, but probably in this box there's a million pieces.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to take this winter and do something like that,
Right.
there'd be a kit like this available for
Exactly.
you to do. So that's an idea.
I really like that.
Yeah, and the wood's already cut and stained, and all you need is a little bit of glue. Follow the instructions.
Oh, wow, that's
Good
great.
idea.
I really like that one.
Now, I went to my friend Marg's the other day. You know, my friend Miniature Marg, we call her.
Miniature
Hi,
Marg,
Miniature Marg, if you're watching. I just love going there because I spend the whole day, and I could just spend the whole day. Miniature Marg was kind enough to give me this furniture kit. Now, this is really old. It's President's Choice. They don't do these anymore.
No, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and so in this, there's all little pieces of furniture that you could make dollhouse furniture. So that's really
Excellent.
cool. And I'll just open it up to show you what's inside. It's just slabs of wood, really.
Oh, look at that.
But it's all
cut out.
pre-cut, and it's all in these slabs. And then you would follow the instructions to do. Again,
That is
another good
amazing.
idea for a kit, Colleen, because you don't need the saw to cut out the wood, the
Right.
miter saw.
Absolutely.
a
And
little bit
it's
of
got all the
sandpaper.
instructions on how to
Yeah.
put it together.
And then you could
That's
paint
brilliant.
it up and do without all the expense.
Great.
So then I was also out to Marg, and there's a place called, online, it's called Grandpa's Dollhouse.
Okay.
And this is a kit from his place. And I look at the kit and I think, oh, it's just got little pieces of wood, and I could do that. But if you don't have access to the equipment again,
Right.
you're not
right.
going to be able to cut wood that small, and miter cuts
Exactly.
and all that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So this is why they're good. And it comes with instructions.
Right.
And it comes with a little bit of sandpaper.
Oh my
and
goodness.
and little toothpicks.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
That's a really
this
nice
is
little
for a shelf. You can see that. Mm-hmm. And if you go online, Grandpa's, they even have dollhouses, I believe, as kits.
Oh, wow.
They have dollhouses on Amazon.com as a kit.
Okay.
Grandpa's dollhouse has lots of kits.
Okay.
They even have a rocking horse kit.
Oh my goodness, that's
Or,
amazing.
Yeah, so little toys and that. So,
Right.
so again, these are just some ideas for you if you want to do some crafty things but don't want to go the expense of having all the equipment. Also on Lee Valley, we have I don't know if there's Lee Valleys all over the world. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're even in the States. Definitely in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We have one here in London. And Lee Valley has kits, and they even had, I went on there to do some research for
Right,
this
right.
podcast.
Right.
They even had a stuffed animal kit
No.
at Lee Valley, and it's all like mechanical kind of things.
Oh, wow.
So I was really surprised to see that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And they're leevalley.com. Now they may deliver throughout the world. I don't know. You'd have to
Right.
check that out.
Yep.
But they have dollhouse kits, music box kits, aviation
Wow.
model kits, toy tractor kits, and a whole bunch of other things on there. So if
That's
you're interested in
fantastic.
doing that for the winter, I mean, if we're all going to be in with this COVID, we might as well be in and doing something. that we
Exactly.
like.
That's right.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
just some ideas for you to be doing at home, or you have some ideas that you want to share with us, we'd love to hear them. And I do want to mention another thing that I've been up to. I've been researching van conversions on YouTube, where you buy a van and you fix it up in order to travel in it with your bed or your table,
Okay,
and that
right,
type
yeah.
of thing. And I looked at buying a new Sprinter van, and they were like $130,000. You know,
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money for you'd be working for the rest of my natural life.
Yeah.
So I thought of the idea of buying a Sprinter, not a Sprinter van, but a transit van with a high roof,
Okay.
and that you would be part of this too.
Oh, good. Surprise!
But I thought that it would be really fun to fix up a van. Like, we would get a new one just because of our vintage. We don't want to be traveling on the road and having it break down and that
Right,
type of thing.
absolutely. So
We would go
warranty's a good thing.
a newer van just for that reason. So we would get a newer van possibly next year, and I would mostly. I don't think that you would, but
I might do some
you
sewing.
might help.
Yeah.
Maybe some sewing for the van. That would be
Maybe.
good. But I would love to renovate the van, like do insulation, put in. Well, you could make the cushions for the van. Put in some windows, vents. Those types of things in the
Okay,
van.
there you go.
And so what I did was I went out to look at the vans, and I was actually inside one just to get a few little measurements.
Right.
And I made a replica, like just a mock-up of what the inside of the
that's
van
quite
would
something,
look like,
right.
the space-wise, so that I can decide where we're going to put the bench seat or how we're going to design the van. And then I'll do a little miniature furniture to see how we can rearrange the van and how it's going to work for our lifestyle.
Right.
Because Colleen and I like to, she loves when I say lifestyle. Colleen and I like to do these adventures, and we'd like to eventually drive to Halifax in out east and
Right.
to see what that's like. So it would be great to have our own van without the $130,000 expense.
That would be fantastic.
Now, we may not have all the mod cons in it,
Right.
like the push button this, push button that, but for the most part, it will be everything that you and I would need.
Yep.
And so, looking forward next year to sharing that with you, and maybe sharing some ideas on what to put in the van.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then we'll go from there. But I'm pretty excited about that. So, and then I think I'll put that on YouTube also
I think that would be great.
as I go.
You are a talented soul, that's
We'll
for
see.
sure.
We'll see. Anyway, that's our craft adventure, and
Next, we're going to talk about souvenirs. My souvenir today comes from Love Crafts, and they do a great job. So they have patterns, and they have yarn, and they have knitting needles. They have all kinds of things on their website. And what's really, really nice is they have a way that you can compare colors. So let's say you want to put 3 colors together. They allow you to check. They will put the colors side by side. Now, you may say, but is the color true? No, not necessarily, but at least it's not true in the same way for all 3. Does that make sense?
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying,
so
yeah.
whatever is that thing that's a little different is going to be a little different for all
for
3.
everything, yeah.
And
It is hard when you're ordering online yarn.
It
I
is.
think it's very different.
Yes,
Because you
it
never
is.
really get a true color with that monitor.
Exactly. And so sometimes what I do if I'm going to order yarn, I look at it on 3 or 4 different websites.
Right. Right. But I think, for the most part, I think 90% of the time you've been very pleased
Exactly.
with what you've ordered,
Yeah.
and it's been close. I think there's only been a few times, maybe
Right,
even once
right.
or twice,
Yeah.
that you've been a little disappointed as to
Right,
what you ordered
right.
online.
Now, the kitten color of that City Tweed DK, so that kind of beige color, I thought was going to be more of a creamy color with the
Right.
little flecks. But I made the sweater, and I've got black around here, so I think
Just
it's gonna be
changes
fine.
it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
and the hats are looking good.
If it's not life-threatening or morally wrong, we're good.
True. Okay. Now, what they do is often they will send things in a little bag like this. So if I bought the alpaca, the Cumulus by Fiberspace, because that's how I got it on Love Crafts, it was all in the same bag. So this is a skein because I saw this beautiful, beautiful cowl to make for myself. I'm saying that so May doesn't want to steal it. So I'm going to make this one for myself. It would be a little bit too big for you. That's part of the reason why I'm saying it that way. But you know me, I like to do a little bit of
Right.
jiggling things around, and maybe I can make something for you. This is Malabrigo Arroyo, and the color is Azul Profundo. Azul is blue. I know that in Spanish. And I'm going to let you hold that up.
Beautiful color.
So this is DK, and so it's going to be a little bit of a heavier cowl, but it's a beautiful color. I absolutely love it, and I hope I can skein that up and start soon, because I guess not skein it up. I'm going to cake it up. It's already in a skein. So I'll cake it up, and then I'll get started on that. So that is my purchase, and now May, souvenirs for you.
Well, like I said, I haven't really been ordering anything on Amazon, but I have been resourcing for my little vintage shelves that I have over at my little vintage store. And because we can't go to the auctions, like we used to go to the auctions right there,
Right.
which I love that whole, you meet up with some people that you know and you have something to eat, especially the one in Stratford, Ontario. We just loved going to
Yeah,
that
it's
because
lots of fun.
they had chili, although we never had the chili. It's known for its really good chili. But the coffee was good, and we'd have chocolate, and we would socialize, and we'd be there with all the bidders, and it was fun.
Right.
But they don't have that anymore. It's always online. So
Right.
I'm having to resource in a different way.
Right.
But I did go out the other day, and I've resourced a lot of different things, and I can't show you everything. So I thought I'd bring a couple of the small items that I got.
Oh, perfect.
Now, I don't have anything particular in mind when I go and source thing. I just get what I think I find cute or I think will sell.
You do have a good eye for this, that's for
So
sure.
I thought this was cute. It's called Keep Your Chin Up. And I just picked that up, and it was $1.50 I got that for. So I come home and I go on eBay, and I check the price of what that would be worth. And I couldn't believe it, Colleen. This was on eBay for like $19.
Oh my goodness.
And I think $15 shipping or something like
Wow.
something to that effect.
That's amazing.
So really, I'm hoping to make a couple of dollars on my little guy there. But that's the kind of
That's
thing I would
right.
pick up. I also picked up a Marilyn Monroe. She's got a little thing here you put a little ribbon in, and I think she's for the tree.
Christmas ornament,
Like a
absolutely.
little Christmas ornament, which is cute. And I like Marilyn Monroe. We have a Marilyn Monroe picture that I really like. And we were in Chicago when they had the big Marilyn Monroe. And if I have a picture of that, I'm going to put that up too. We went to Chicago, and when she was there, the statue is not there anymore.
No.
The statue is now, I think, in California.
I think so.
But anyway, Marilyn Monroe, we always kind of smile when we see that because it reminds us of our trip to Chicago, which was
Right.
fun. We went there with a couple of friends, and it
Yeah.
was really good. So when I saw the Marilyn Monroe, I had to get it, and she was $1. So I just got her mostly for a little, not a joke, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I came home and went online, and she's just plasticky thing.
Yeah.
And she's like $19
Oh, my
online
goodness.
on eBay.ca. So,
There you go.
I'm hoping that I may not even sell Marilyn. I may put her under our tree. She's kind of cute.
She is kinda
I
cute.
don't like to accumulate things and keep things, but she's tiny.
That's right.
All right.
Those are our souvenirs. We want to thank you so much for watching. We appreciate that you do. When I checked last, we're at 746 subscribers.
Yeah, thank you. So keep subscribing if you can.
Exactly.
We
And
really appreciate it.
Please do comment down below and have the conversation about pom-pom, yes or no. What do you think? Because for one person, we know for sure they're not pom-pom people, but for the other one, we're not sure. So let us know if you like pom-pom. If so, how big do you want the pom-pom?
Just
That kind of
curious.
thing.
And it was curious when we asked the question about the drawstring bag.
Yes.
And then the zipper bag. And I thought, Colleen, this is going to be really cool to see
Exactly.
how many. And it was 50-50.
Basically, yeah.
Half of the people like drawstring, half the people like zipper. I find
Right.
that kind of interesting.
There you go.
But there you go.
So, as I mentioned, we appreciate you watching and spending time with us. And so, until next time,
You take care.